rapid fire. It felt like the fuck you scene in Half Baked. It's just like fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you. It was so good.
Hey, Upper East Siders and all you scandal-loving listeners out there. You just tuned into the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, where the coffee is strong, the waffles are fresh, and the gossip is hotter than ever. My name is Leif, and I'm your seasoned Gossip Girl veteran.
And I'm Steve, your newbie, the greenhorn, I don't know, Leif, what am I now that we're in season 4?
I'm not sure, but are you telling me that you and your brother didn't both end up going to a mental hospital, and your dad didn't give your mom fake cancer, and your mom didn't send an innocent man to prison just to get you back into private school?
Well, when you put it like that. So here's the deal, folks. Leif has been watching since Gossip Girl first aired, and I'm diving in for the first time. And together, we're your dynamic duo, bringing you all the drama, romance, and sometimes questionable fashion choices of this iconic 2007 series.
Bring your magnifying glasses, because each week we're dissecting every juicy detail of the show, one episode at a time. We'll connect the dots, uncover those sneaky little Easter eggs, and of course, serve up some piping hot behind-the-scenes tea. And expect some iconic fandom moments too, because what's a deep dive without a little drama?
And since we are all about inclusivity here at the Non-Judging Breakfast Pod, there is always a seat for you at the non-judging breakfast table. So go ahead and grab a mimosa, a cup of coffee, or roll something up from Chuck or Nate's stash, and let's go ahead and get into this.
We are here to talk about Season 4, Episode 18, The Kids Stay in the Picture. The original air date was April 18th, 2011, and it was based on a documentary of the same name. It was about the life of Robert Evans, a film producer at Paramount.
Yeah, that I've heard of Robert Evans, right? That's what you said?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that name. I think he may have had like a bunch of kids, maybe. Was that
possibly?
Yeah.
I have not seen it. Came out in 2002.
Okay.
This episode was written by Jessica Queller, who previously in season 1 did The Handmaid's Tale, Blair, Waldorf Must Pie, Roman Holiday, and then in season 2, The Serena Also Rises, Bonfire of the Vanity, and The Age of Dissonance. And then she skipped season 3, came back for season 4 to do War at the Roses.
So she has some solid credits. She always kind of has.
The most recent one's probably the weakest.
Yeah. I found this one, I found the plot hooks to be weak, like within the writing. I found the episode to be fun.
Yeah.
And a good episode overall. There were just some weird... Gossip Girl, I feel like, has hit this point in the writing where, because these characters have done such big, shitty things to each other, that when something happens, a lot of the scandal, it's just like... Or like, oh, that's what we're still doing? Like, okay. So, like, it doesn't have the same weight as it used to. Even though I enjoyed this episode a lot. And I'll get into why, like, these points as we go through.
The episode was directed by J. Miller Tobin. Also been with the show since the first season. Did Poison Ivy, Blair Bitch Project, and then season 2, Summer Kind of Wonderful, and The Grandfather. And in season 3, Reversals of Fortune and Last Tango, Then Paris.
It's interesting. Some really good and really bad episodes in there. I didn't like Summer Kind of Wonderful much.
I didn't like the episode, but I did like the director. There was some really like vibrant shots in that episode.
Is that the
Hamptons?
The Hamptons? Oh, yeah,
like the garden scenes were like really like vibrant, and I liked the way they were shot.
Yeah, that is true.
And Blair getting off the bus there and like staring down Chuck. With the Lord. So we also got some new and returning guest stars this week. We got Sheila Kelly playing Carol Rhodes.
Yes.
She's got a solid career been working fairly steadily from 1987 till 2022.
Okay. She also has one of those faces that you just kind of recognize that she's been in.
The things that I recognize her from, she was in Lost, like I said last week.
Right, one of the tailies, right?
The others, yeah.
The others, yeah.
Yeah, she's like a doctor or something.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yes.
When they're on like the other island.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And then she was also in one episode of The Sopranos as a nothing character.
Okay.
And then we also have Kaylee Deefer playing Charlie Rhodes. Less credits for her. Things that I know her from. She actually played opposite Penn as his love interest in The Mountain.
Oh, okay. That was before Gossip Girl, right?
Yeah, like right before.
That's interesting.
And then she was in 2 episodes of How I Met Your Mother as one of Ted's many love interests. Or, no, the roommate of someone, I think, maybe. I think she was like a lesbian, actually.
Oh, not the crazy girl. Because now that you're mentioning, I feel like I remember her, but I couldn't place it. Thought she may have been someone that didn't quite stalk him, but was like kind of. But I could be confusing.
I think you're thinking of Britney Spears.
Oh, you're right. I am. Oh, well, you're right. I am. I'm completely thinking about Britney Spears.
And she was also in the Kevin Smith movie Red State.
Oh, okay. I liked that.
Yeah.
Did you see that one?
Yeah, it's decent.
Yeah, it was. I liked it because it was atypical Kevin Smith while still feeling his touch on it.
The dialogue definitely showed it was him.
Yeah, yeah. But out of his typical comedy genre, you know. And John Goodman in anything is amazing.
Indeed. And then we also get returning Prince Louis Grimaldi, played by Hugo Becker, who is a French actor. And weirdly, this is like one of his very few English-speaking roles.
That's funny. That's really funny.
Like, let's just go do Gossip Girl. I don't know how that happened. Well, why don't you give us that Vulture recap?
Here we go. Like the centuries-old folklore from which the popular Disney stories originally derived, fairy tales on the Upper East Side are dark, complicated, and not always suitable for children. In last night's episode, as the metaphorical guillotine hung over her mother's head, Serena played fairy godmother to her TJ Maxx-wearing suburban cousin, Charlie, transforming her via the powers of Barney's intermix and adolescent entitlement into a sassy, slip-wearing Cinderella. Meanwhile, a single kiss from Blair Waldorf turned Dan Humphrey into a panting Labrador retriever, one who was intent on her scent until almost the end of the episode, whereupon the spell was broken by Chuck. The vision of his stepsister Serena in a strapless dress and the timely arrival of an actual prince holding aloft a $700 slipper. Thank goodness Blair was wearing her La Perla.
Indeed. We get into Act 1, and the news crew and paparazzi have surrounded the Vanderwoodsen building. The episode opens not with Gossip Girl, but a reporter speculating about Lily's sentencing. Dorota lets Blair listen to the radio broadcast from bed, still wearing her sleep mask. Dan checks his phone and sees no messages. Chuck is at the Empire and sees Raina come out of Nate's room in a robe.
So, yeah, we have Dorota and Blair there when Blair's ringing the bell, covering her face, telling Dorota that her job isn't to think, it is to serve. Just clearly Blair is going through it right now.
Mm-hmm. What do we think about Chuck and Raina here? What does that look about?
Yeah, there is this like knowing sort of, Chuck almost has a you know where you want to be look on his face. I felt that Chuck was more like, are you still slumming it with Nate? I felt was being presented.
And the forums would agree with you. However, what did he just find out at the end of last episode?
Oh God,
His
yeah.
dad killed
So
her
he's
mom.
looking at her like, oh my God, I didn't even put. It's funny because I put that together in so many other parts of the episode, but not here. But yeah, so this is the first time he's seeing her after getting that news. Yeah, it was interesting because some of this episode was written as if it was the next day and others as if it was a week later. Like Dan's like, it's been a week, but Chuck right there goes, oh, you stayed the night. So it was sort of, the timeline seemed a little confused here.
Raina returns to the bedroom to bring Nate a glass of OJ. Raina gets a call from her father and goes into a different room.
Yeah, what you hiding there? What you hiding, Raina?
Serena forces her way through the crowds and into the building and calls Chuck. Chuck and Lily decided it would be best if he didn't come to brunch. Chuck asks if she knows why Blair won't see him or answer his calls. Serena dismisses the idea that Blair would be dating someone, but is instead depressed about losing her job at W.
I felt a little some sort of way that Lily didn't have Chuck at the brunch, but I get her reasoning, but I also was kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah, it seemed weird.
They're so close anymore. So, yeah. I think that they needed
to show Chuck being alone.
Oh, isolated. Yeah, they had to isolate Chuck this whole episode.
At the penthouse, Lily is reading about herself on TMZ while Rufus and William are bickering. Cece walks into the room and makes some snarky remarks in an effort to diffuse the tension. We learn that there's going to be a big photo shoot today entitled Modern Royalty. Serena enters from the elevator and hugs William and Cece. Cece makes a pointed remark about all our girls being in the photo, with the emphasis being on the all. Lily doesn't fail to notice.
Yes. Yeah, and I loved the way that Cece came in to diffuse the Rufus and William thing. How Rufus immediately, and also I love Rufus's gives no fucks snark towards William too. Yeah. We were just having a conversation about moving on, weren't we, Lily? What was that about? Oh, that's right. You.
Fuck out, bitch. Yeah. In Brooklyn, Eric is using the loft as a safe house away from everything going on at the penthouse. However, Eric also notices something is up with Dan based on him not going to be Serena's backup and the fact that he is alphabetizing. Dan admits that he kissed Blair and is waiting for an answer on how she felt about it. Dan is ass backwards crushing on Blair Waldorf.
I loved every second of this scene.
Yeah.
I loved Eric sitting there watching him this is the first time I've ever seen you pass up an opportunity to save Serena. You're alphabetizing. What's up? You promise not to laugh? Your secret will die with me, but laughter is an uncontrolled response.
Yeah. And they were wearing matching outfits again.
Yeah. I really like what they've done with these two, bringing them closer together. I love Eric needs a big brother, and he had Chuck for that 5 minutes, but he needs a big brother, and Dan is the guy.
Yep.
Just don't scheme anything. Just don't scheme together, because, man, you two don't have it.
No. Blair rings her bell for Dorota and claims she is suffering from consumption. She eventually admits that something happened recently that changed her future, but she doesn't want to deal with it.
And Dorota, of course, being the champ that she is, putting up with this, but also dropping her remarks along the way.
Epperly calls and hires Blair as her assistant for the photo shoot tonight. After they hang up, we see that Chuck told Epperly to call and hire Blair.
What I was talking about earlier in the episode, these writing things that were I see what you had to do. I see where you had to move this episode, or where you were trying to move this episode. But it just felt so, we've seen this so many times before, that the camera turns away and Chuck's manipulating someone to manipulate Blair. And it's why are we doing this again? Why are we back here again?
Because that's all Chuck knows how to do.
Yeah. Can we find him a back alley in Prague?
Plenty of murders in New York.
Not enough. There's been one too few. Not enough. There's one too few. That one being the fictitious character of Chuck Bass. I'm not advocating for actual murder of human beings.
Back at the penthouse, we enter mid-conversation with Lily and Cece. Lily is not happy that Cece invited her sister Carol without asking Lily first. However, they quickly run out of time to argue about it when Carol arrives and starts insulting everyone with a smile on her face. Serena takes a quick call on the landline and comes back to let Lily know they canceled the portrait because of the scandal.
Carol comes in and just starts dishing shit like she's a fucking blackjack dealer. Just like, oh, hello, husbands 1 and 5? 5. And now Rufus is just like, yeah.
And nice loafers.
Yeah. And just, yeah, I mean, she just rapid fire. It felt like the fuck you scene in Half Baked. It's just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, you're cool, and fuck you. It was so good. Like, I just, good in the sense of just way to just rip into everybody in your first appearance on the show.
And this is what Gossip Girl had to say about the situation. Uh-oh, Lily. It looks like instead of being on the pages, you're about to have the book thrown at you.
And to that point, the best insults are the ones that are going to land because they're the ones that are real.
Yeah.
Because nothing that she said was a lie. And when she said the thing about like, I'm not the one that dishonored this family. It's like, oh, fuck. Oh,
burn. We move into Act 2. Down in the lobby while waiting for a cab, Serena meets her cousin Charlie. Charlie says her mom doesn't know she is here and asks to go somewhere else to talk to Serena.
Cute introduction to a new character, kind of out of nowhere, but I did like that she's like, look, I'm super socially awkward from the get. And so it was sort of an awkward interaction, but it was cute. I was fine with it. No real notes, I don't think.
Seems like an odd thing to say.
What? Yeah, I'm so socially awkward.
Especially for someone who's supposedly socially awkward.
Yeah. I'm thinking of people like Bailey who will also be like the first to be like, oh yeah, I'm socially awkward. So I guess I've known people that will just own it like that. So I didn't really clock too much of it other than just I felt like if anything, it was the writers trying to give us that piece of character development about her.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if she is coming in and she's going to be a big schemer and like really slide into the Upper East Side like Jenny, then cool. But I didn't pick up on it from that. I mean, obviously she has to at some point because she's on the show. Because she's on the HBO cover.
Upstairs, William tells Rufus and Eric that he knows the photographer and might be able to get Lily back in. They agree to let him try.
Eric was so good here. When Eric turns to Rufus and is like, I think my mom would really appreciate that. Like, very much like, nod your head, Rufus.
I suppose it wouldn't hurt.
Yes. Like, I love everybody just kind of mediating these two. And what it kind of really shows, especially when Cece did it, that, you know, Cece had a relationship with both of these people. Obviously, there is one that she liked, that she approved of more when they got married, I'm sure. Right? William is the thing that she wanted Lily to marry in the first place. Rufus is the thing she never wanted her near. So I like that she and Eric are both playing moderator here. That's how far she and Rufus have come.
Serena and Charlie are at a cafe catching up and after having not seen each other in years. Charlie explains that her mom thinks the Upper East Side and their family is toxic and then goes through a list of crazy things that happen to them on the show. Serena convinces Charlie to spend the day with her and give her world a chance.
And once again, Gossip Girl catching up a season worth of drama in a 3-sentence conversation. I really love how well they slip these things into dialogue. Now, the one thing I have about that is, how does Charlie know about William and the fake cancer? Unless, of course, Cece told Carol and Carol told her.
Maybe
but
she's
that
a
was
big Gossip Girl reader.
Was that in Gossip Girl? Because I figured that it wasn't because he's not in jail. You know, like it wasn't like a bigger thing. I don't but I could be wrong. Was it in Gossip Girl?
I believe. I mean, at least parts of it.
Okay. I guess I'm just not remembering. Yeah, I do assume she probably keeps up on Gossip Girl. I feel like she does have interest in her family.
Lily is looking at old photos when Carol comes into the room. They bond over old memories from the 80s. Then they come up with the idea to take their own family photo.
Yeah, it felt very familial, the way you'll come in and snap at each other and fight with each other, but then be like, oh, but we're still siblings, and now I'm going to be nice for a little bit before we fight again.
And we got some pictures from the backdoor pilot.
Yes. Yeah, and it's funny because watching that, I had that like, God, I would have watched that show.
Yeah.
I think I would have liked that show more than I like Gossip Girl, to be honest, based on what we did get. That, I love that, the whole vibe, that whole LA 80s, 90s vibe that they had going on.
They would have had to find a better male lead, but yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
That guy was horrible.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really didn't. I figured that the lead eventually, the male lead would, because it would kind of be like a How I Met Your Rufus, right? Like I would assume that would kind of be how the show progressed. But anywho, How I Met Your Rufus trademark, Steve Marchand. That's mine. my hybrid of this and How I Met Your Mother.
At the photo shoot, Epperly tells Blair that Chuck Bass will be photographed alone. Epperly pushes a narrative of true love she claims is brought on by her experience in Bali. This gets Blair to admit that she kissed someone recently and it was a life-changing experience. Blair gets distracted when she spots Vanessa with camera equipment. Epperly texts Chuck to tell him about Blair's life-changing kiss.
Epperly doing all this because she's a sucker for romance, because her Belizean, or not, but this guy that she ran away to Belize or Bali with. I find it silly, but it is what it is.
Oh, I didn't take it at face value. I took it as she's a recently unemployed person living in New York City, and Chuck pays well.
Yeah, I guess there was no mention of pay, which is why I thought it was odd.
I just assume, because
yeah,
why is she helping Chuck?
Yeah,
even if she is buying into this true love thing, why bother? Why would she help Chuck with all these favors?
Right.
Blair confronts Vanessa, who says she saw the job posted at NYU and she isn't leaving.
Why? Please do.
Because she's a human plot device
that we don't need. Use a tape recorder. Use a non-human plot device.
It's worth it for the line that comes later, though. When Charlie asks, do you want to get that? No. Mm-hmm. Serena and Charlie are shopping, and Charlie is shocked by the prices. Serena gives her the locket she is wearing and tells her it is a family heirloom.
Yeah, like Serena, damn. I loved it, actually, because it is the most Serena thing to do. Like, oh, you're family. I'm trying to connect with you. I have this heirloom that was handed down to me, but you're also my family. I'm going to give it to you, because one of those things with Serena, she has the money to buy anything, but stuff isn't always what's important to her. Like, she has everything she could need. So, material things don't really... She's a little more bohemian than that, I don't think that she would... I think on the surface, she'd be like, oh yeah, I don't need any of this stuff. I think she'd miss it once it was gone. But I think she's very quick to be like, well, I'll throw my cell phone in the trash. So, I really felt like, wow, that's a big gesture to give away a family heirloom that a lot of people would not just think to do on the spur of the moment. But I felt that was a very Serena thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to connect with this person. I'm going to show this person she's my family. That I liked Serena in that moment.
Yeah. Lily and Carol are also shopping and get a call from Rufus to let them know the shoot is back on. The two sisters are getting along famously until we see that they are shopping at the same store as Serena and Charlie. Carol is shocked to see Charlie in New York.
It's not your necklace. Like, what are you taking the necklace away for? Like, that is your family heirloom too. So why can't she have...
We haven't got there yet.
Oh, I thought that's what... Oh, I guess that it comes back from commercial.
A few other scenes still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is for... Yeah, they kind of bump it and she's just like shocked that she's there.
Oh, okay. I thought this is where she...
And we get the fun little call with Lily and Rufus. Rufus, we found leg warmers. Pause. No, we're not drunk. Although...
Right.
And Carol's like, yeah.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, let's. Yes.
Chuck shows up at the loft to ask Dan if he knows who Blair might be dating because he worked at W with her. Chuck repeats Blair's words about the life-changing kiss, and Dan immediately goes all googly-eyed. Chuck quickly sees through Dan's effort to steer Chuck away from Blair, and Chuck leaves and calls Epperly for one more favor.
This scene was so much better on the second watch through. Because the first watch through, I mean, I was paying attention to Dan and how he was reacting. The second watch through, Chuck's reactions to Dan are it's some of Ed's best work. It's some of his best acting. The way he just clocks everything Dan says when he's like, well, maybe she just really liked the guy. Oh, yeah, you can't compete with that. Why would you get in the way of love, Chuck? Like, it was just so perfect because Dan
weeps at nights of Cabiria. How would you know that?
Yeah,
Serena
told me. But Chuck, just the narrowing eyes on every little bit was just so perfect. The first time I watched it, when he walked out, he's like, I know who kissed her. I was like, you caught it from that? Like, yeah, he was kind of telling. But watching Chuck's reactions on my second watch through was just, he did wonderful there.
Yeah, we definitely need more Dan and Chuck scenes.
Yes. Well, it's funny because the beginning of the scene, my real thought is like, what are you doing there? Why would you go to Dan? And he explains like, oh, you worked at W. He knows that Dan was there for a day and they both got fired. So I felt like it was, we need to get Chuck to go to Dan. We need to figure out how. But when he did, the result was great. The motive, I was like, okay, whatever. But the result. The motive was a stretch for me to believe that Chuck Bass would go all the way to Brooklyn for Dan working one day at W. That's the only stretch in that. Why would he go to Brooklyn? But when he does, because you never see Chuck in Brooklyn. And I don't think we have ever seen Chuck in the loft, have we? This might be if not first, maybe only second time he's been in the loft. I do not believe he has ever been in there.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, we move into Act 3, and this is where Carol is telling Charlie that she worked hard to keep her away from the toxicity of her family, and Carol tells Charlie to return everything she bought today and to meet her back at the hotel. She even takes the locket.
Yeah, she takes the locket. Which I was like, really? Like, it's a family thing. She didn't spend thousands of dollars on that. She just gave her a family locket. Like, get over that. The other thing, yes, she spent an obscene amount of money on her. But like Lily said, it's not a heroin needle.
Yeah.
The whole reason she ended up being like, Mom, I'm moving here is because she took all that shit away. If she would have been like, oh, enjoy your cousin, we're going to go back and you can sell all that stuff on eBay, there wouldn't have been a problem.
Serena, Carol, and Lily are walking back into the building. Carol is pissed that Serena bought Charlie over $1,000 worth of clothes, so she is leaving immediately and won't even stay for the photo shoot. Lily goes upstairs but tells Serena she doesn't have to come up with her. This allows Serena to hang back and overhear Cece reminding Carol that she has been sending her money every month for years. but Carol still walks out.
I gotta hand it to Serena this episode. All the shit that she does that ordinarily would drive me nuts was just perfect. Her sitting there eavesdropping, it's like, get him. I mean, Carol is being an asshole this whole episode. And I didn't mind the actor. I didn't mind the acting. But she's being an asshole most of this episode.
I minded the acting and see this coming up. Dan calls Eric to let him know that he got a call to be in the up-and-comer section of the Modern Royalty book. Eric immediately spots a scheme and lets Dan know that Blair is working the photo shoot. They both decide Blair is just the type of crazy that would create a fake thing to make Dan a more suitable suitor. Eric has to take another call and finds out that he's also now in the photo shoot.
It's so great because it is such a Blair thing to do. Yeah. Oh, wow. She wants you in the up-and-comers thing so that you're more worthy a suitor. And the fact that you're going along with it is more evidence that you like her, Dan. Mm-hmm. Eric also. Just the Vanderwoodsens on point this episode.
Dorota sees Blair putting on makeup and tells her she is glowing. Blair reveals that the kiss with Dan didn't make her realize she wanted to be with Dan, but instead made her realize that she didn't need to wait to become a powerful woman to be with Chuck.
Robin called this earlier on when she says that I had a kiss and it was life-changing. Robin goes, it was life-changing because she realized she wants to be with Chuck. And I wasn't really thinking much too into it. And then pretty soon afterwards, like, yeah, obviously that's it. And then she admits it. But this is also, so Dorota calls him Lowly Boy, which it's funny because we know that Dorota knows his name, knows his nickname because she used it last week and called him Lonely Boy. So this week to call him Lowly Boy, which the additional irony of Dorota being help, being a hired servant, but intermixed enough in the Upper East Side to be able to be like, oh no, you don't want the lowly boy, to put that label, despite being a lowly person in the eyes of the Waldorfs to begin with. But the fact that Dorota then puts Dan on that level is just really funny, because it just shows that she also doesn't think that Dan is good enough for Blair. He's more of a Labrador.
I think it's interesting that Dorota did think she was into Dan, even though she knows Blair as well as anyone.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I think that the matter of she knew that they were hanging out so much, and I would assume maybe even at this point knows they kissed, that what she's, what the way that Blair is acting and Dorota knows something's wrong, Blair would kiss Dan and be so upset that she would hide for a week if she liked it too. That makes as much sense to me.
But the fact that she was also shocked that she was ready to go back to Chuck.
Yeah. Because also Blair all this time has been like, I want to have this before I have that. So, that also kind of, to me, led into Dorota being like, but you don't have that while you're waiting for this.
Serena finds Charlie at the store returning the clothes she bought. Charlie says her mom was right and she shouldn't have disobeyed her. Serena lets her know that her mom may have been lying about something.
Yes. And I like this scene. And good on you, Serena.
And this is what Gossip Girl says as we go to the break. They say that fortune favors the bold, but watch out for bold-faced lies that come with fortune's favors. We move into Act 4. Eric, Rufus, and Cece are at the photo shoot and learn the new concept is actually just William with Eric and Serena. Rufus snipes at William, but Cece goes into problem-solving mode and tells the photo assistant to shut her mouth about it.
This was another one of those little writing things that I thought was just a little weird. The whole, like, you guys go do this. I'll find Lily before she finds out about it. I felt like Cece was very quick to be all in Rufus's corner on this development.
I thought she was all in on in Lily's corner.
Yeah, fair. I just also felt like by doing that, it was...
Let's fix this and hope she doesn't even ever find out about it.
Yeah.
At the Empire, Nate finds Serena sitting alone. The photo shoot had just called and asked if she didn't want to be in the photo with her dad. What about her mom? This just made Serena realize she had no family now. Nate hugs her, but fails to give her the cliche, "You have me."
No, and actually, I was waiting for it and was proud of him for not doing that. Because that would be such a condescending, shitty thing to say in that moment. And the thing that I can imagine any boy his age saying, I would have said that. I would have been like, you got me. Oh, who needs family when you got the guy you're bagging, right? So, like, I was waiting for him to say it. And the fact that he didn't, I was like, way to keep your mouth shut and give her a hug like she needs. This isn't where he suggests she finds her, right?
No.
Okay.
Dan finds Blair at the photo shoot and is sure that she set the whole thing up because she likes him. However, Blair is genuinely confused about what's going on until she sees Chuck lurking in the shadows like Batman.
Like Batman.
Just hanging out in the shadows.
Off to the side. Where is she? There she is. She's talking to Dan.
Lily and Serena have a cute bonding moment in the dressing room that is interrupted by Carol. She storms into the room, demanding to know what they did with Charlie. Serena tells Carol that Charlie ran away because Serena told Charlie the truth about Carol taking money from Cece. This news is a surprise to Lily.
Yeah, I loved Serena and I loved Lily dropping this. Yeah. It was like, ooh. I enjoyed the drama here.
This is the scene where I thought Carol's acting was really bad. When she walks, "What have you done with my daughter?"
It was a bit much.
Yeah. Blair, with Dan trailing along like a Labrador, is calling out Chuck on his scheme to get Epperly to hire Blair and call Dan to the photo shoot to humiliate him. Blair lets Chuck know that the kiss with Dan meant nothing in of itself, to which Dan coolly agrees. Blair says she was going to tell Chuck that she was ready to be with him tonight, but now sees that would be a big mistake.
Yep. You done fucked up, Chuck.
Rufus and Eric confront a confused William about the photo switch up. Lily and Cece walk in on their argument, but Lily still doesn't figure out the switch. Serena and then Charlie also show up.
Find out what, Mother? That I don't like my hair. It's too flat. That one was another like, is that how we're saving this? Although her hair was a little flat. Your hair is gigantic, Mother. No, you know what? It was a little flat.
And this is what Gossip Girl has to say. Cinderella finally showed up to the ball. Too bad it was canceled. We move into Act 5. Cal shows up at the photo shoot, relieved to see Charlie. Lily finds out about the change in photo. Rufus once again accuses William of purposely excluding Lily. William gets pissy because no one trusts him anymore.
What's the use of telling the truth if you won't believe me?
Now, did you ever think that he did screw it up?
Absolutely. The whole time. I was disappointed he didn't.
So the reason why it was pretty obvious that he didn't
was right here.
Well, no, is that he doesn't care about Eric and Serena. He only
cares about Lily.
So
why would he want to?
Yeah.
Yeah, why would he cut Lily out of the picture? When he said the line, "Why would I even tell the truth if you won't believe me?" I was like, oh, wait, maybe he didn't do it. But I was also like, I was disappointed he didn't do it. I don't want to glow up for William. And I feel like they started giving me a glow up, and I don't want one for him.
Blair is admiring the dress that Chuck bought for her. He wanted her to wear it in the photo shoot with him. Blair tells him that even though she's ready now, he won't be ready for a real relationship for years, if ever.
Has she worn a dress similar to that? the one she was looking at, I feel like it was reminiscent of an earlier season dress.
Not that I recall.
Okay. Yeah, I liked the acting in this scene. I liked Blair. I liked her reacting to him and the way she talked to him. I thought it was another good scene.
Yeah. Blair finally got to actually tell Chuck off.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah. And was in the upper hand and was right and was able to really see. And what was really funny about that, earlier in the episode where she's like, well, no, he's grown. He's done with schemes. He's done with fatwas. And then in the end...
Based on what?
Based on what? Based on the scheme you guys ran 2 weeks ago? Based on the scam that he ran 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago? Because he's been running schemes on Serena for weeks now that you helped him with.
You just saw him throw Lily under the bus.
Yeah. What evidence do you have that he has matured at all? Oh, he was nice to me at a party.
William finds Lily alone and reiterates that he didn't sabotage the photo intentionally. Lily says she doesn't really care anyway. Things were bound to explode with her, Cece, and Carol in the same room. William uses this as an opportunity to stroke Lily's nostalgia boner. Rufus interrupts to apologize and let them know he found out the photographer never got William's message and the new photo was the editor's idea.
And this is where I was like, he didn't do it? Really? Like, why are we making him nice now? Why are we making him a good guy? At the same time, my other thought was, if anyone in this show is down for a throuple, it would be Lily. Like, how often has she been like on the brink of leaving everybody? If it makes sense for anyone to end up having a throuple, it would be Lily.
Yeah.
Also, am I correct in recognizing that room that they were in? That looked like the Eyes Wide Shut episode set where Chuck is from a few seasons ago, the Chuck Eyes Wide Shut.
About, but I thought this was at the Empire.
It may have been, but that one scene, there was the spiral staircase with the piano that was all in that, like, I'm pretty sure that one shot was from that same set that they did that episode.
You're going to bring these things up, Steve. You got to go back and look and check it first.
All right. I'll go check. It just looked familiar.
Blair finds Dan and says she had no idea about Chuck's scheme, but compliments his suit. They reaffirm that the kiss meant nothing. Dan tells Blair that it may not be him or Chuck, but her prince is out there. She says that his princess is out there as well, and sort of nods over his shoulder. He turns and sees Serena in her gown. Vanessa is hiding behind the wall, eavesdropping on the conversation. Again.
I think she says, your princess is out there too, if you're ready for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over the shoulder and sees Serena. And it was a very nice Dan with the puppy dog eyes looking at Serena again. Vanessa, you're such a pointless fucking character at this point. And like, what kind of asshole person are you that it's like, oh, these people, I overheard that they did something, and I now feel obligated to tell the person who fucking hates me because I almost got her killed. So now I need to, like, tell her? Why? What connection do you have to tell any of these people anything? Why are you hurting? There's only one person out of all of these people that you give a shit about, and he hates you right now because of the bullshit you did, and now you're going to tell on him? How is that going to repair your relationship with Dan? By you being an even bigger fucking asshole. When it's not even Serena's fucking business. Zero business. I mean, okay, it's Serena's best friend. It's Serena's ex. But ultimately, it's not her fucking business. And those two people would tell her. They're not going to keep this secret forever, I wouldn't think. And even if they did, who cares? They made a kiss and then they were like, hey, that's not it. Sure, Dan wasn't feeling quite the same way, but that
what
was
was your
result.
sense of Blair in this scene, though?
What'd you say?
What was your sense of Blair in this scene?
Oh, well, first of all, when Dan was like, yeah, I just wanted to say I'm on par with you, it meant nothing, that Blair looked shook. that Blair at that moment realized that kiss was more than she thought it was. That was something that
when she had the line about Serena too, I thought she was kind of saying it like out of like grudging obligation.
Yes. That I felt that because Dan's like, your prince is out there, and she looks like I said, she looks shook that like that this is now ending with Dan. And yes, there was an attitude of like, well, I guess it's Serena. And like sort of that, once again, I'm losing to Serena, even though it's something that I don't care if I lose. But I think she also, like all things that Serena gets, Blair realizes she wants it as soon as it's in Serena's court. But I definitely picked up on, if Dan would have just kept silent and said, oh, it's nothing, maybe there was another conversation to have between them. But then again, this also works out. I believe this is also in When Harry Met Sally, right? Doesn't one of them, after they bang, because it's not kissing in When Harry Met Sally, they bang. And I feel like something similar happens, that I think it was Meg Ryan had another date. I can't remember. It's been a while, but you know, I feel like,
so in the movie, when after they have sex, he kind of plays it off cool, like nothing happened, and she like freaks out about it.
Right. Okay. So it's kind of a similar ending to it though, where it's like, oh yeah, it meant nothing. Oh yeah, but it did mean something. But now we're going to say it meant nothing and end it.
Charlie confronts her mom about the lifetime of lies. Charlie pulls away and finds Serena and is introduced to Blair. The three decide to get gelatos and have a girls' night. Blair sees Chuck and the two catch eyes and they share a longing glance.
What an opportune and ideal time to meet Blair Waldorf, when she's in a half-decent mood. That how often, if you get introduced to Blair, is she just going to be like, the fuck are you? What do I care? And here it's, oh, you guys are going to get ice cream? I could really use some too. And, oh, you're the cousin? Awesome. Now this is just besties being besties again. So I really loved the girls getting together to have a girls' night.
And this is what Gossip Girl says as we go to the final break. Poor lost prince. What's the point of having a kingdom if you have to reign alone? We move into the epilogue. The next morning, we see Blair and Serena sharing a bed with Charlie on the roll-up. Charlie wakes up first and walks around the apartment, amazed at the opulence.
Two things. First, I thought it was adorable that they all stayed in the same room like a slumber party, even though Serena's room is right across the hall. Mm-hmm. Second, I couldn't help but think that like she's in here looking at this stuff and sprays the perfume. And I said to Robin, it's like an $80 spray right there. Just like the one of perfume. And it's like that alone was probably like $150.
It's funny you mentioned the perfume, because I have a couple things to say about that.
Okay.
Twice this season, it's been mentioned that Chanel No. 5 is Blair's signature scent.
Yes.
This episode, Dan specifically commented that he likes the way
nice.
Yeah. He likes the way she smells.
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Although that may not have been that bottle of because that could have been Serena's perfume.
Could have been, but
in theory, because I don't think Chanel No. 5 is quite as expensive. I know it's expensive because it's perfume,
but it's just interesting that she might be now wearing Blair's scent.
Oh, I know where you're going with this too. I know where you're going with it, but that is really interesting. Because I wasn't thinking about what the scent was. I was more thinking of, like I said, that's probably $150 spray into the air just to get a smell. But yeah, what if that's Chanel No. 5?
Carol finds Lily reading in the home office and asks if she has heard about her sentencing yet. Lily hasn't heard, but she says she learned that Martha Stewart taught crafts in prison. Carol tells Lily that she wanted Lily to think she escaped, but things changed when she found herself single and pregnant. The two reconcile, and Carol promises to smuggle pop brownies into prison.
Lily's reaction to that, I will smuggle you pot brownies into prison. Oh, she was so touched and so like happy when her sister said that that made me feel teary. Just like how like that coming together in the end. I thought it was super
Well, we know
sweet.
from past episodes that Lily is kind of a stoner. Remember when she stole Chuck's stash and brought it over to Rufus's to bang?
Yeah.
Serena and Charlie are back in the lobby at the Vanderwoodsen building trying to figure out how to tell Carol something. Serena ignores a call from Vanessa, who leaves a message ratting out Dan and Blair's kiss.
Yeah, fuck off, Vanessa. She doesn't need to know. You don't need to be the one to tell her. You don't like her. You don't like any of these people. Fuck off. Go to NYU.
Yeah, so pointless. Eric is surprised Rufus allowed William to man the waffle maker. We learn that Rufus is off on a mystery mission. Serena and Charlie get off the elevator and are simultaneously greeted by their mothers. Charlie tells her mom that with Lily's permission, she is going to stay in Serena's old room for a while. Lily is fine with it, but Carol mentions something having happened in Charlie's recent past that would make this a bad idea. Serena takes Charlie to see her old room, and Carol tells Lily to keep a close watch on Charlie because something happened at college a few months ago that caused her to leave.
Yeah, Carol? Tell her what
details.
it is.
Some details.
Yeah, give her some details. Like, oh, keep an eye on her. Why?
Did she start drinking?
Did she light a fire? Is she killing animals? Was she assaulted? Like, give us some context. Did she attempt suicide? What happened? Did she flunk an English test? What do you mean keep an eye on her? Fucking TV.
At the Empire, Nate brings Raina breakfast in bed, who says she couldn't sleep. Now that she realizes that her father is capable of lying, she's wondering if he lied about her mom never trying to contact him after she left.
Yep, and Nate has the brilliant suggestion of, why don't you try to find her?
Oh, boy.
Which, good suggestion, Nate. It came from a good place. Mm-hmm. Let's hope once again that he was lying, because we don't want to find that out. We don't want Raina finding that out. There's a big part of me that thinks her mom is fine somewhere and not dead. That was to get into Chuck's head, or maybe she'll find out that she is dead and that Bart had something to do with it, and that can be Raina's origin story to be the true villain of Gossip Girl.
Rufus returns with a famous photographer to do the family portrait. Dan and Charlie meet and possibly have some sparks. Carol notices them talking. The whole blended family gets together on the couch for a series of photos. They ignore the phone call that could be Lily's sentencing.
So a couple things on this. First, the meeting. And it's interesting that you mentioned that she might now smell like Blair too. But I did totally clock the chemistry between them, and it makes sense.
I remember what I said at the beginning, how she played his love interest in the past.
Yeah, I clocked that too. And so by the end of this, I totally felt that there's something going to happen here with her and Dan. I also thought I liked Carol clocking it too, because Carol had almost a hint of approval. Like, she knows that Rufus isn't from this place originally, and Dan isn't necessarily one of them. So maybe Dan is the better one for her daughter to be talking to, was kind of my impression when they talked.
Thus proving that she is not a good actress. Way off.
I'm way off.
It was completely the opposite.
Oh, she was upset.
Concerned about it.
Oh, that's really funny. I totally read, aw. The other thing.
Especially when you take into the context of what your previous conversation with Lily was.
That's true, yeah. My other thing, the reaction shot was perfect. The whole ensemble, when the phone rang, that reaction shot was so good, because not everybody just turned and looked. They all kind of had their own reaction or didn't look at all. Like, I don't think Charlie really looked over at the phone at all, which, like, why would she? She doesn't really get the gravity of this situation here. So I thought that the capture of that shot and everybody reacting to the phone was beautiful direction. It's just,
we get the cute family photos of Rufus groping his wife.
yeah. and Cece between the husbands. Because Will would try to sit on the other side of Lily. That his goal was, I don't think Will would care if Rufus was still in the picture. I think Will would be down for the throuple.
But of course there was one person not in the photo. Chuck is alone and he stares at his solo photos.
Yep. Fucking Chuck. Chuck with all of his friends. Chuck with everyone who loves him.
And Blair is complaining to Dorota, wondering why love has to be so hard. Blair doesn't think asking for a simple fairy tale is too much.
Yeah, why is a simple fairy tale too much to ask? Poor Blair.
And then the final scene is we see Prince Louis getting out of a limo, holding the shoe Blair gave him back in episode 2.
Yeah.
In a very awkward pose.
Yes. Yes, this Prince getting out into a Manhattan street with zero security.
And just holding a shoe.
Just holding a shoe. Where is she? Bring her to me now.
And this is how Gossip Girl ends the episode. Walking down the primrose path, you risk finding hell instead of happily ever after. As with any journey, who you travel with can be more important than your destination. You never know who you'll encounter along the way. Who knows? Maybe fairy tales come true after all. XOXO Gossip Girl. That is our episode, and what is coming next?
Louis and Blair are going to realize that they're not right for each other. Eventually. Louis and Blair are going to have their nice romantic New York episode or episodes. I think that Blair and Dan are not done. I don't, that's not how When Harry Met Sally ended, is it? But I think that there's more to their story here, the two of them. I think that Serena is going to catch wind of it and be looking into getting to the bottom of this Dan and Blair thing, and who knows how much she'll care, because it seems like something she'll care a lot about because it can make her more dramatic. And
what's going to happen with Charlie?
Well, I think that there's a Dan Charlie thing brewing here.
What do you think happened at college?
My instinct says it was a suicide attempt. We've already done that with Eric.
Yeah.
So then there's drugs. But we've done that with Serena.
Think about what I corrected there about Carol being concerned and not happy about Dan and Charlie.
Well, I mean, she could have been with somebody who was not good for her. But what did you say? Other than she's a bad actor because she conveyed the emotion wrong. But it's Rufus's kid. So, yeah, I don't feel like I haven't quite enough. Yeah.
Okay. Any other predictions?
Oh, it could have been an abortion. That makes sense now that I'm thinking of in terms of
network TV.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, or an adoption. Well, because the concern about Rufus and Lily, and what happened with Rufus and Lily, they had a kid. So here we have Charlie. Maybe there's some kind of similar.
Okay. Any other predictions?
Oh, Chuck is going to scheme to get, or I feel like Chuck is going to scheme to make it look like he's not scheming to get Blair back. I think Chuck's new scheme is going to be not scheming or something like that. I also believe that here's my prediction. If Lily goes to jail, she'll be out by season 5. That her sentence is going to be something like 6 months or some super ridiculous slap on the wrist. But I think she could possibly spend a couple episodes. I didn't think she was going to see the inside of a jail for a minute until she made the Martha Stewart reference.
And we did, at the beginning of the episode, we actually did get the possible maximum sentence, which is 10 years.
Yes, we did hear that there is a possible maximum sentence of 10 years. I don't think Lily Vanderwoodsen's lawyers are going to let her do 10 years. No. I think that they'd have this in appeals long enough. You know, I think
especially since it's basically a plea bargain situation.
Yeah.
Anything else?
I think that is it for my predictions right now.
All right.
Oh, I predict that Raina is going to get info on her mom. I believe that info is going to eventually look like Bart had her killed. I also believe that that may turn out to not also be true.
Let's get into segments.
Hello there, Peabody here. And this is the Wayback Machine for traveling through time. And this is my boy, Sherman. Speak, Sherman.
Hello.
Good boy.
This week in fandom, we traveled in the Wayback Machine to the Television Without Pity forums from 2011. Their overall impression was it was a good episode.
Yeah, agree.
Why wasn't Chuck invited to the family photo at the end?
Yeah, I was kind of bugged by that too. That, once again, leaving Chuck out of that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
Although it was Rufus who introduced the photographer, right? Wasn't it Rufus who was like, Lily, I believe you know this photographer who's doing a cameo for us?
Mm-hmm.
And he hates Chuck, so maybe he just didn't call.
Well, I mean, last time he was doing anything to Chuck, he was telling Chuck Lily's scheming against him.
Right, because he hates Lily's schemes more than he hates Chuck. Rufus doesn't have a lot to do right now.
Charlie seems like an obvious replacement for Jenny, but is probably going to go single white female on either Serena or Blair.
Yeah. I totally pick up on that vibe. I wish she was a replacement for Vanessa.
Go away, Vanessa.
Go away, Vanessa. Just
the next point.
Yeah, yes. Go back to NYU and find new friends.
Be gone. Blair's revelation makes no sense. Is she in denial?
Yes. I had that thought too. That the kiss actually meant something to her, and the thought of not ending up with Chuck is what made her force herself to think that that was it. I do absolutely believe there was something there in that kiss.
Nate and Raina are adorable, but wish they weren't so isolated from everyone else.
Yeah.
And finally, Dan is hotter than he's ever been.
Hey, Penn was hot in this one. I'm not going to take that away from them. Penn also,
I'm here to get my photo taken.
Yeah, when he gets the Joe Goldberg crazy eyes, I fucking love it. Because it's always when he's like in those manic moments or when he's like excited. And so I love when you see that side of him. And he does that when he's like, I'm here to get my photo taken, so excited. And it's like, oh, you poor dumbass. But I find that to be one of his sexier elements too. Like that crazy eyes.
That is it for this week in fandom. Let's move over to episode grades. You went first last time, so I'm going to go first this time. It was a pretty good episode. I don't think it was quite as good as last week. I feel like this is kind of the beginning of the writers playing both sides of the fence with the dare and the chair. Like they can't really decide which way they want to go. They're just going to kind of bait both fandoms.
Yeah.
So I ended up with a B-.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I landed on a B, and again, it was a lot of similar things to what you said. I liked it. There were these writing plot holes, and I was kind of done. I'm done with the chair of it all, at the same time, I really like the dare of it all. I really loved Dan and Eric in this. I again, like I said, again, a solid B, despite there being those like weird writing, the glow up of William Woodsen, if that's what's happening, we don't need it. But okay.
What, you're not Lily William Endgame?
Only if Rufus is the third. I mean, I'm only okay with it if it's a throuple.
Moving over to Stockwatch. Going up, I had Serena for being a good supportive family member and going a whole episode with not falling in love with someone.
Yeah, inappropriate.
I had Lily going up because she had fun and, she didn't get sentenced yet, so she's still living her 25th hour. And I had Cece going up because she was being funny and playing peacemaker, so she had a good episode. I had Rufus going up because, he was sniping back and forth with William, but when he realized that, William didn't do anything, he came and apologized like a man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I had William going up because he didn't do anything offensive, and that's a huge up in his book.
Yeah, that is the best he's done.
Yeah.
Is not be an asshole.
I had Dan going up because he, even though he didn't get Blair's affection, I think he had a good episode overall. Him and Blair kind of teamed up against Chuck and shut him down. And Blair, for the same reason, she finally got to shut Chuck down, and she, got a job at least for a day, even though it was set up, but she still got it. So that's good, and I thought she had a good episode. I had Eric going up because he was giving good advice as usual. And I had Charlie going up because she is now living in the Upper East Side and about to get paid.
Yeah. Yeah. No notes, actually. I believe that my ups are exactly with yours. I actually didn't think that you were going to give William the up, but I was giving William the up too. The other thing with Rufus getting the up, he also got the photographer at the end. So like Rufus actually had a subtly big episode.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone that you sent up, I also have going up, and I don't believe that I have anyone else going up from there, because Nate and Raina, I felt just kind of were nothing.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to give it to Nate for not saying you have me, but I'm going to keep him neutral.
Neutral Nate.
Neutral Nate.
Going down, I had Chuck because he got shut down.
Mm-hmm.
Epperly for being Chuck's lackey.
Mm-hmm.
I had Raina going down because she realized she had no one.
Oh, that's fair.
I had Vanessa going down because she was a shit.
Yep.
I had Carol going down because she was horrible and a hypocrite.
Mm-hmm.
And I had Louis going down because he just traveled to another continent to follow a woman who clearly did not love him at all. And failed every test that he presented to her. Talk about simp.
Yeah. Man, she doesn't like me for the real me? Oh, well, I guess I'm still a prince.
Who do you got going down?
I did not have Louis going down. I wasn't going to give Louis the down. And I feel like there was one other one that I had Vanessa going down. I had Carol going down, both for the same reasons that you said. And Epperly, which Epperly is borderline an assistant in this episode. but since she's been named enough, I'll put her as her own. But yeah, Epperly for being a simp or not a simp, but for, following Chuck's orders. And I am not giving Raina a down. I feel like her commitment to find her mom at the end kind of brought it back to a neutral place for me.
What about Chuck?
Oh, Chuck goes down. Yeah. Chuck, fucking loser.
Anyone else?
I don't believe so. No. But here's the best outfits from the last episode we've seen.
Moving to best outfit. For me, I gave it to Serena in her black strapless dress from Marchesa along with the mink stole. And for the first time in ages, her hair actually looked brushed, so I'm assuming Blake Lively did it herself.
Yeah, you're right. She did. I think I'm going to throw this one to Chuck in his suit. I was conflicted on this one because I also liked Serena's dress, and I also liked what Lily was wearing again, but I'm going to go with Chuck in his suit.
Several people on the forums compared it to wizarding robes.
Well, there you go. No wonder I like it. The Weed Wizard, I'll give it a nod.
That is it for segments. Do you have anything you'd like to plug this week?
I don't believe I have anything coming up in the immediate future, so please feel free to follow me on TikTok or Instagram, steve.marchon, Marchion.
For me, I started listening to a couple episodes of a podcast called Girls Tourage, in which a gay man and two non-binary people watch back-to-back episodes of Girls and Entourage.
Okay. I mean, that sounds fun. I hated Girls. I think I saw 1 or 2 episodes of Girls and hated it. I don't find Lena Dunham funny.
She's kind of funny, but in like a messed up way. She just seems like a really bad person.
Yeah, I just find her to be an entitled...
I think it's
brat.
A well-written show, but like no one is likable.
Yeah, and I feel like that show kind of ushered in an era of unlikable characters on TV. That we started seeing this trend more and more from there, and then we had Shameless, and we had Always Sunny, and a bunch of these other shows coming out around the same time of just shitty people being shitty to each other, and I feel like I had seen it done better, you know?
Well, this is much after those shows started, but okay.
Was it?
Yeah. 2014 compared to like
Really?
Always Sunny was like in like 2003.
Well, I think it was 5, 6, or 7. I think Sunny was 6 or
It
7.
was when I was still in college.
Oh. Because I thought it was right around the time I moved home from California, which would have been 06. So I thought it was in its like second season when I moved back. But I could be wrong.
Well, anyways, if you want to follow me on social media, you can find me on Instagram and Blue Sky at Hot Capicola. That's HOTCAPICOLA. And if you want to follow the podcast, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Threads at Non-Judging Breakfast Pod. And if you want to find links to our subreddit, to our Patreon, or our Discord server, they are all on our website, nonjudgingbreakfastpod.com.
And if you would like to send us an email, we would love to hear what you have to say and maybe even read it here on our show. Send us that email to nonjudgingbreakfastpod@gmail.com. Also, while you're listening, if you could go ahead and hit that like or subscribe button, or go ahead and leave a comment in Spotify or Apple Podcasts, because that really helps our visibility. And also, while you're at it, if you could go ahead and tell your friends what you are listening to, bring us into work with you and make us your new water cooler talk every week.
And we will be back next week to talk about Season 4, Episode 19, Petty in Pink.
I dig that. I like that.
The episode description reads, Serena enlists Charlie to go undercover Gossip Girl style to determine why Dan and Blair are spending so much time together and what role an unexpected visitor is playing in their lives. With Nate's help, Serena decides to go on a search for her long-lost mother. Chuck's hopes about his legacy are dashed with the reveal of devastating information from his past. Again.
I wonder if they're related. I wonder if those last two things are related at all.
Until next time, you know you love us.
XOXO. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Oh, it seems I'm walking right to your door. My heart's still resting, looking for something more. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Never feels right when I'm out here on my own. I left last night and it feels like way too long. Are you ever gonna see everything you mean to me? I'm trying really hard to believe. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away, run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Come back to me. Smile and you'll make my life complete. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with you there. Every time you walk away or run away, you take a piece of me with